Hello there, friends, and welcome to episode 81 of That One Gaming Podcast. My name is Colin, but I'm otherwise known as Delicious Morsels, and here today with me is Lucas, aka Carnevil9. How is Lucas doing today?
I'm doing good.
Alright, we've also got Neil, better known as VMK89. How is Neil today?
I'm doing just fine.
Alright, if you are new to this podcast, welcome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or one of the many other podcasting platforms out there where the three of us get together every other week to talk about a variety of topics in the world of gaming. This week, we are discussing Final Fantasy's first entry on the Super Nintendo, that one game, Final Fantasy IV. Released in Japan on July 19 of 1991, Final Fantasy IV introduced the series' famous active time battle system, which involved players inputting commands during battle in real time rather than a traditional turn-based system. Characters' turns were determined by a bar that would gradually fill at a rate based on the stats of each respective character. This system would go on to be iterated on and refined throughout the next several games in the franchise. Notably, the game also featured a much larger emphasis placed on story and characters than previous entries, following the Dark Knight Cecil on his journey of redemption and quest to save the world from an ancient evil intent on using the world's crystals to reap destruction. The game's cast is full of memorable characters, from Cecil the protagonist to his best friend Kain the Dragoon, to Rydia the young summoner and Sid the energetic engineer. Interestingly, when Final Fantasy IV arrived in North America on November 23rd of 1991, it did so under the name Final Fantasy II instead. Square's logic at this time was to do this so as not to confuse American players, since at the time, the only other game in the series that had access to was Final Fantasy I, which released for the NES just a year prior. Later, subsequent re-releases would restore the rightful title, however. But before we get into our main topic discussion, we'd like to talk about the games that we have played since the last episode. So, Lucas, what have you been playing?
Well, since the last episode was actually only like Tuesday,
yeah, it kind of
I
was.
haven't really, I haven't actually played any games, but I have solved a bunch of Rubik's cubes. And still working on my project to like build my own Super X puzzle. It's a
Nice.
combination of a 2x2 Rubik's Cube and a Dino Cube, which is a corner-turning cubic twisty puzzle.
Is twisty puzzle like a technical name, or is that just what you call them?
It is sort of just a generic, all-encompassing name for like these Rubik's Cube-like puzzles.
Gotcha, because Rubik's Cube is a brand name.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It specifically refers to the like 3x3 face turning cube.
Right.
But yeah, then like cube all of the X by X by X cubes are referred to as the Rubik's Cube family, and then there's the Pyraminx, which is the four-sided triangular tetrahedron. But it's not a cube, but it gets referred to as a cube because it's competed as a World Cubing Association event, and like some people just call refer to everything as a cube, even though the geometries aren't all cubes. And then there's cuboids, which are like your oblong geometry puzzles.
Kind of like how all tissues are just Kleenex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the same thing.
There's a similar thing in Vocaloid where people just refer to all vocal synths as Vocaloids because it's easier, but technically they're not all actually Vocaloids, because Vocaloids technically refers to the ones that use the Vocaloid software, but it's a Kleenex thing. Yeah,
kind of took to referring to them as twisty puzzles from twistypuzzles.com, which is like a huge comprehensive database of twisty puzzles. Started in 2002, and they've got 12,872 puzzles in their database, and
Wow.
like almost 50 or like over 5,300 forum members. So quite the expansive community. But yeah, sort of a interesting tidbit about the Super X that does tie back into gaming, though, is that I first learned about that puzzle from coming across the YouTube channel of Andrew Cormier, who created the Terraminx, which is the 7x7 cube equivalent of a Megaminx puzzle, which is a 12-sided dodecahedron with pentagonal faces. Solves very much like a Rubik's Cube, though. In addition to like creating the mechanism for the Terraminx, he also was like the project lead for probably one of the most well-known Super Metroid ROM hacks, Super Metroid Redesign, with assistance from, I think, Desk Jockey, Math on Napkins, and Kajarden for additional programming help. But yeah, he was like the main project dev for Super Metroid Redesign. The ROM hack I still haven't beaten yet. But yeah, there's a lot of complex game physics changes in that too. Notably, he changed the or adjusted the gravity of Zebes in Super Metroid's engine to be more reminiscent of how it is described in a logbook entry from Metroid Prime, like one of the scan points in the planetarium room in the Fendrana Drifts Space Pirate Lab.
Planetarium. Wait.
So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to lately.
Nice. What has Neil been doing in the last 5 days?
Literally nothing but Final Fantasy IV as much as possible whenever I had free time.
Nice.
Final Fantasy forever.
Yeah, I was blitzing the game. Boy, am I glad I over-leveled and then was able to just turn off encounters for the rest of the game, starting around some of the underworld stuff. I started doing that. That was nice.
You were just spamming Blitz the whole time?
Wait a minute. Blitz is from Final Fantasy VI.
No, it's in 4.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Edge has it. It's his lightning attack.
Right. You're correct.
Haha.
I was thinking of Sabin.
But yeah, do we want to... Well, I guess I'll pass it over to you, Colin. Because you beat Final Fantasy IV a while ago and didn't have Two Baby story about. What have you been playing?
Yeah. Well, I started Kingdom Hearts 3 this week, and it's awful.
Right.
I hate it. It is one of the absolute worst games I've ever played. Based on the first 3 hours that I played it, it's just absolutely terrible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue playing this game. It's just so bad. Is what the internet wants me to say.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, I fell asleep for like the last 2 hours, but geez, your opinion changed real hard. What happened?
No, I really like it so far. The gameplay feels really good. Actually, it probably feels better than it ever has in this series. Like, the battle system is vastly improved, especially over the DS games. I kind of miss the command deck thing from Birth by Sleep. Kinda. That was a really fun battle mechanic, but this is kind of more traditional, like in line with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 gameplay, with some additions from the DS games. Like there's shot locks. Wait, shot locks were in 2. Were they in 2? I don't remember. That was a year ago that I played that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is really good so far. I finished the first world. on stream on Wednesday night. And so I'm starting the next one this week, Wednesday. It'll be the night this episode goes live. I like it a lot so far. So the internet's probably going to be like, oh my God, you like this game? And I'm going to be like, yeah, I like this game. For now. It did tease me with one thing that returns from Dream Drop Distance. Thankfully, not the worst parts of Dream Drop Distance so far, but there is a thing from Dream Drop Distance that comes back, and I'm probably just gonna ignore it if I can. It's not the worst thing to return. It's just like I want Triple D just out of my mind. Just I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
What are you talking about? Because I don't know if I got that bit.
Something about the little critters. You can call the little critters.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
To do combo attacks and stuff.
Okay.
Nintendo might not like that.
Oh.
But that's a story for someone else to rant about. I don't even care right now, honestly. But other than Kingdom Hearts 3, I also dipped back into Final Fantasy 14 now that the Dawn Trail story arc is wrapped up with the patch 7.3. So I played through the last 3 patches story quests to finish off the Dawn Trail storyline. Finished it this morning, and it's really, really good. And I'm really excited to see now the next couple patches are going to start building momentum toward 8.0. And I'm really excited to see where they go from here. Because Dawn Trail ended in a very good place. I liked this expansion from the start. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh my God, this is the worst expansion since definitely not Shadowbringers. This is the worst expansion since the other expansion that starts with S, Stormblood, which I didn't think was a bad expansion either. So, yeah, there are some really tough boss fights in these patches, though. Especially if you're playing through it solo like I was, because I didn't feel like waiting for any queues because the player base is kind of down right now because everybody's complaining about the state of the game and stuff. So I didn't feel like waiting for queues. So I was just doing duty supports for all the story dungeons. And yeah, there's a couple bosses. It always seems to be the mid boss in the dungeons for some reason. That is the trouble boss. Like, it was like that for the 7.1 dungeon. 7.2's dungeon wasn't too terribly bad. I think I maybe got killed once in one of the boss fights, but it wasn't too bad. 7.3's dungeon, the mid-boss, is just insane, and it took me forever to figure out what I was supposed to do and why I kept dying out of nowhere. But, yeah, it was fun. Like, all of Dawn Trail, like from the base expansion all the way up into the patches, has the best dungeons in the entire game. They're so good. The boss fights are so good. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. As we mentioned, there hasn't been very many days since our last recording. So less days equals less time. Anyway. Hey, listeners time.
Listen.
Yeah, so each episode we ask our Discord members a prompt based on the topic of the episode for them to respond to, and if you're listening to this and you want to do that stuff, you can join our Discord. There's a link below. Anyway, we got one right in this week. Our topic, obviously, Final Fantasy IV, and our write-in is from Jazzy, and Jazzy writes, Final Fantasy IV, 4, the first one for the SNES, with Cecil and Kain. That one. This is the first FF in the series that I actually really enjoy a lot. The active time battle system, while still not my favorite turn-based combat style, is loads better than the traditional turn-based style of 1 through 3, where you pick everyone's move for a round and then see the round play out. The story is incredibly well written and paced appropriately compared to the lackluster stories of 1 and 3. There were some legit gut punches that left me speechless at times. It's got its fair share of humor, as most Final Fantasies do. It's a great balance. I'll always remember tracking down Yang's wife to get a frying pan to use to whack Yang upside the head to wake him up at one point. There were a few game annoyances gameplay-wise, what with basically stripping a character of all their levels several hours into the game. For good plot reasons, mind you, but still a little annoying gameplay-wise. Also some questionable optional dungeon designs with an insane difficulty spike once you make it to the last major area of the game. But overall, the entire game flows incredibly well. The characters have real depth to them, and as much as I love a good job system, sometimes it's nice for characters to just fit into a predetermined role. I really love 4. I don't know exactly where I would rank it in my overall Final Fantasy tier list, but it's easily in the top 5. Thanks for your write-in, Jazzy. Now let's get to our main topic discussion of Final Fantasy IV. And I'd just like to say, I much concur with Jazzy here on where Final Fantasy IV falls in my personal tier list for the series. Definitely a top 5 for me as well. It is absolutely one of my favorite games in the series.
Yeah.
Always has been.
I would put it in my top 2 of Final Fantasy games that I've beaten.
Yeah.
Same.
I see what you did there.
Yep.
I
I would. It's definitely better than 1.
I see what you did there. Yeah, the first time I played 4, I bought it for the Game Boy Advance when that version came out. All the way back in 2005. Oh, wow. That came out.
Good lord, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, that came out 3 days after my back surgery.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Oh, I don't even know if our listeners know I had back surgery, but yeah, I had back surgery in 2005.
I believe we talked about it for Halo.
We might have. I don't know. Anyway, that was a thing that happened back then.
Yes.
Anyway, and the Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy IV, which is the first time I played this game, came out 3 days after that surgery. Although I don't think I got it until later, sometime in 2006, because I remember the weather being not winter when I got the game. Plus, I had some brand new PlayStation 2 games that were gifted to me around that time to play instead, so I wasn't exactly playing a Game Boy at the time. But yeah, and I have since then, I bought the DS version, like, I think I got it at launch. Let's see, when does it say the DS version came out? Does Wikipedia not have a listing for the DS version? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just don't have it on here. That's weird. Anyway, I know it came out in 2007, and I bought it relatively around the time it came out. It might have been like within the first couple days it was out, because I was following updates on it, and I really wanted to get it back then. So I bought the DS version, and since then, I also bought the PlayStation version at some point in there somewhere, but I bought the PlayStation version because it came with Chrono Trigger. Which is also, like the PlayStation versions of 5 and 6, the worst versions of those games to play.
Yeah.
But at the time, Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo was still, it wasn't $200+ expensive, but it was still like a $50-$60 Super Nintendo game. So
yeah,
it was still kind of harder to find.
Yep.
But anyway, so Game Boy Advance version, DS version, PlayStation version. Obviously, now I also have the Super Nintendo version. At some point a couple years ago, I bought the Japanese version of the PlayStation version because it came in a box set with 4, 5, and 6, and all of the discs had this really great Amano illustration on them. So I bought those as a display piece. Let's see here. I own the Pixel Remaster twice.
Yep.
I think I have the 3D version on Steam. I have a lot of copies of this game, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Wasn't it at one point like the Final Fantasy that you owned the most different versions of?
I think it still is. I think I have like 8 copies. 5, 7.
Yeah. It's
Pretty
like
sure I have like 8 copies.
It's like Final Fantasy IV is your Phantasy Star Online.
And the funny thing is like at first I didn't set out to be like, I'm just gonna buy every version of this game that I can.
Mhm.
I just found that coincidentally I had accumulated several copies of this one game, and then just to roll with it, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna keep buying copies of this game.
Yeah.
So I still need to get the one for Wonder Swan Color. That's the only of the 3 that I don't have for that. Because I've got Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for that already, and they canceled the Final Fantasy 3 that they were doing for that.
Right.
That's
What do you
part of
know?
the reason that Final Fantasy 3 never got a Game Boy Advance version,
Oh,
because the
interesting.
GBA versions are all based on the Wonder Swan versions.
Wild.
Yeah.
And then I need the PSP version. And then, yeah, I think outside of some random stragglers that are Japanese exclusive, I pretty much have every copy I could feasibly purchase of this game.
Until they release a new one.
Exactly. Final Fantasy IV Remake.
Mm.
That'd
Fully
be so
voice
good.
acted.
That'd be so good.
Yeah.
It would
The
be.
DS version is already like 40% voice acted.
Is it really?
Like there's a bunch of major scenes that are fully voice acted, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that version would be worth playing through as a curiosity? Okay.
Is it? Yeah, because I
Yes.
might. How much
It
does
is
it sell? Like,
also more difficult than the Pixel remaster.
Ah. Uh-huh.
So if you're looking for a challenge, that's the version to play.
Okay.
But yeah, the 3D version is really good. That's the first version of the game I ever actually finished. Because see, I also have a habit of buying this game and never beating it. So of all these copies of this game that I own, I've only beaten it twice.
what's the difference?
Should finish my
Wait.
playthrough of the Pixel remaster version then, because then I can be tied.
There you go.
Final Fantasy IV is different than Final Fantasy: The Four Heroes of Light, right? That's the original.
Yes. The Four
original
Heroes
game?
of Light is a spin-off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's
This
not
is an
big.
all new getting into the weeds of what version of Final Fantasy IV are we talking about?
Well, speaking of getting into the weeds, like I have mentioned this several times off the podcast. I might have mentioned it in one of our what we've been playing when it's come up and stuff. But yeah, so it's Final Fantasy IV. It is also Final Fantasy II. But listeners, did you know that in development it was actually originally intended to be Final Fantasy V? Because back when the Super Nintendo was still fresh on the market, Square wanted to make a game exclusively for that, but they didn't want to quite leave the install base of the NES behind yet, initially. This was after Final Fantasy III had released, so they had begun development simultaneously of 2 games, Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V. Final Fantasy IV was originally going to be an NES game. Final Fantasy V was going to be their shiny new debut on the Super NES. So they're developing these 2 games in tandem. Eventually, they came to the conclusion that, holy crap, working on 2 full-scale Final Fantasy games at the same time is kind of hard. We should probably scale back on this. And to make matters even more crazy, Final Fantasy IV on the NES was planned, like from the get-go, to release after Final Fantasy V on the Super Nintendo. So they had this weird thing going on there. And eventually they were just like, yeah, we gotta pull the plug on the NES game, unfortunately. Part of the thing that led to that decision also was like, with the way they had their releases scheduled, with the Super Nintendo version game releasing first, they were like, well, if we release this like super cutting edge state of the art game on the brand new system, and then 6 months from now, say we release the one on the old system, technically, like, even if that product on the NES is a very high quality product, like, it would still be seen on the market as an inferior product to the one on the Super Nintendo. And they felt that that was going to damage the way that people looked at the franchise a little bit. They're like, well, now it seems like they're backtracking and stuff and going back to the old hardware and stuff like that. The crazy thing about that also is at the time that they came to the decision that they were going to cancel Final Fantasy IV and rebrand Final Fantasy V as Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy IV NES was at like 80% done. It's crazy.
Yeah. I wonder if like the prototype ROM of that is still sitting in like Square Enix's vault somewhere.
That'd be insane. Like, I mean, this is way back in the early 90s, so you wouldn't really expect anything to really survive from that era. But
I mean,
kind of cool.
Grease prototype did too, and a bunch of the Sonic ones all around the same time.
That'd be really cool if it somehow surfaced one day. But yeah, so Final Fantasy IV is Final Fantasy II is Final Fantasy V. This game is there's so much craziness surrounding this game. Like,
and the fourth North American Final Fantasy game was not Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy II.
It was not.
It was 7.
So Final Fantasy IV is also Final Fantasy VII if you really want to get pedantic about it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's I just love that about this game too. It's just
well, wait, it could also be Final Fantasy 3 as well, because I think Mystic Quest released afterwards, if you count that one.
Well, then it could be Final Fantasy. No, because then it would also be the 5th Final Fantasy. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to stop talking about this.
Yeah. The point is, Square Enix doesn't know how to count.
Yeah.
Or correction, Square doesn't know how to count. They learned to when they merged with Enix.
Not quite.
Yeah.
It was still mid 90s when they finally were like, "Oh, we should probably release these in their proper titles and order," and still failed to release an English copy of Final Fantasy III until 2006.
Yeah. Yeah, since we're bringing up all of these alternate versions and interpretations of what Final Fantasy IV could be, I'm assuming you guys played the Pixel remasters?
Yes, yep. I did. I initially went for the phone version and quickly learned that was a mistake, so I played on the Switch after a while.
Yeah. I started a second playthrough on the Pixel remaster, but you know how when we did Final Fantasy 1, I decided to, for whatever reason, it would be a good idea to play the NES version? Well, yeah. I kind of did that again, and I played through SNES Final Fantasy 2. And, yeah, honestly, it didn't really feel like I missed a whole lot when I, went for my comparison run on, the, Pixel remaster.
You didn't beat your Pixel remaster run, though, correct?
Not yet.
Okay. But
I left off in the Sylvan Cave.
So then when I was playing last night, I kind of picked up right from where you were, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Forget how far I got. I remember fighting the king to summoning Odin.
Think you had just gotten Fusoya and were going to the cave of Bahamut. Or Baphomet. Yeah. Bahamut. You're going to hell.
Yeah. Going to hell. No. Okay. Yeah. From there, I went to that cave, beat him, and then ended up heading back to the Blue Planet from there. There wasn't too much game after that.
Yeah, you were pretty close to the end when you left off. Before we started playing Magic.
So, okay, what was like the major difference for you, like that made the biggest impact, I guess?
Well, the characters' movesets are kind of simplified. Like,
Okay.
Cecil doesn't have his darkness attack.
Hmm.
Kain still had jump, which is important. And Rosa had aim. Oh,
Wasn't Yang missing something too?
yeah, Yang didn't have focus.
Focus!
Still had kick, which was nice.
These American RPG players can't handle an extra action on top of all this other stuff.
Yeah, and they can't
They've
handle
only
the
had-
extra difficulty, so they apparently toned it down, which really just meant that they made the healing item do everything.
Yeah, so what's really funny about the North American Final Fantasy II, so in Japan, the original game released in July. Later that year in October, they released a revised version of the game called Easy Type because some people were struggling with it. And that is the version of the game that got localized in North America.
No. Final Fantasy II came out before Final Fantasy IV Easy Type. Easy Type is an even easier version of Final Fantasy II.
Wikipedia lies to me. It's got
Yeah.
those releases jumbled up.
Yep.
Because this says Easy Type is October 19 of 91, where North American is November 23 of 91. What are you doing, Wikipedia? What? You mean Wikipedia can be wrong? Impossible.
No way.
It's an open source encyclopedia. It can flip-flop that around.
Kind of like how people keep changing the release date of Chrono Trigger in North America, which I am sad to learn that it wasn't actually August 11th, which is my birthday. Apparently, the proper North American release date for Chrono Trigger is August 22nd. But whoever, there's a group of people, I guess, or maybe it's just an individual, I don't know, that keeps, every time it got changed on the Wikipedia to the proper date, somebody changed it back. Nobody knows why.
Maybe they were changing it to their birthday.
It wasn't me, I swear. As much as I want it to be true, it wasn't me.
Yeah. The differences aren't nearly as severe as they were hyped up to be, for me at least. Or I didn't think they were. Because it's mostly the like all of the status effect recovery items were like wrapped up into a one singular heal item. There's still high potion or potion and high potion.
Okay, so it's like its remedy is the only status fix where remedy was the right, because you didn't blah. Hold on, let me start again. So it's like remedy was the only status item that they had. It's just that was cheaper kind of thing. Like instead of having antidotes and all of the Maiden's Kiss, the Gold Needle.
Yeah. But here's the craziest thing is that like all of your white magic is still intact, so like you could heal individual statuses.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. But why do that when you have one singular universal status recovery item?
Huh.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah. And what else is there? Oh, Tella didn't have his recall ability.
Aw, that ability's fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I used that at all. What does that do?
It basically casts a random spell.
Yep.
Or it doesn't do anything at all because he's an old man and he can't remember.
Yep.
Okay.
Rather, he can't recall.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Then Edward could still Hyde. um,
Yeah, I never fully grasped exactly how that worked because he seemed to do it on his own.
yeah.
But then I assume he couldn't do the sing ability instead.
He had sing still.
Okay.
Yeah. Hyde just let him like remove himself from the battle to avoid being attacked, which honestly kind of more annoying than it is useful. Because if he removes himself from battle before you can cast a healing spell on him, then he doesn't get healed. And when he starts doing that automatically on low HP, it kind of sucks. Like, okay, Edward, thanks.
Yeah, I think around the time I got Edward is when I started over leveling. Or maybe that was originally on my iPhone run.
Oh yeah, he didn't have salve, which is all right because he kind of wasn't that useful as a party member. Sorry, Edward. Yeah, an ability that allows Edward to split a potion amongst the entire party instead of just on a single person.
What? Edward not useful as a party member? What?
Yeah.
I mean, he is a spoony bard after all.
Yeah.
One of the best lines in all of video games. You spoony bard!
Yep.
That's where it comes from. Final Fantasy IV.
And that was just an ad lib in the localization too, and it's become a famous recurrent line throughout every iteration of Final Fantasy IV ever since.
Yep. But yeah, there's so much about the characters and the story in this game that is just fantastic and makes it such a highlight in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This like Cecil's entire journey of redemption and transformation is just so good. Like the scene where he becomes Paladin is one of my favorite scenes in video games, just period. I love that scene so much, and the DS version makes it so good. It's fully voice acted and everything in the DS version, so it's just like And the translation in the DS version includes my favorite line for that scene too, where like the voice of his father is speaking to him, and he says, "Bid farewell to your blood-stained past." And I just love that line so much. It's so good. But yeah, and then like speaking of when Cecil becomes Paladin, something else very notable happens on the gameplay side, where whatever level he was at as a Dark Knight, he is now level 1 as a Paladin. So you remember, Neil, when you were like, before you got to this point in the game, you were like, I've just been grinding levels, and we were like, stop.
Yes.
Now you know why.
Yep, I sure did.
Yeah. So one thing that often I feel gets ignored when discussing that shift. Yes, he reverts back to level 1, but his stats are still compensated for that fact. Like he's not gonna like if you had him at like a level 40 Dark Knight, obviously he's not gonna have like level 40 Dark Knight stats or anything. But they designed it in such a way that even though he is at level 1, he can still hit the way he needs to for that area in the game. And I believe they also adjusted the leveling curve for that first initial set of levels so that he levels back up to the rest of the party quickly as well.
Well, yeah, I think like since he's at level 1, it doesn't take long at all to get there's a small amount of experience to gain before you get to 2 and so on. So like you've got, what is it, 2 other party members that you can cover for it, and they've got high level enemies you're facing, so they're giving huge amounts of XP, so that gets you back up very quickly. It was not a problem at all for me,
especially if you had the pixel remaster boosts on, because one battle took him from level 1 to level I think he was like a level 11 or 12 after one fight.
I
believe it.
It's like, all right, we're back.
Yeah, and with you can really just kind of breeze through there because at that point in your party you have Tella, who has access
Right.
to all of the black and white magic in the game at that point because
Yep,
he
because that
also on the
also
Mount of
unlocks his
Ordeals.
memory.
Yep. He remembers. He gets Meteor, but
Oh.
you can't ever actually use it because he is capped
Yeah.
at 90 MP.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got the twins Palom and Porum that can twin cast, which is a really
Yeah.
dumb fun ability.
Twin Castle was so good.
Yeah.
I will say, I think I did some of the leveling that I did to get to the point where I was way over leveled by the end of the game. After Tella gets his memory back, because I was like, well, if I get enough experience, he'll slowly get bumped up to 99, and then I can use Meteor. No, that's not how it works.
Nope.
He's stuck at 90, and it took me a while to realize that. So then
That's
everybody's way over leveled by then, and
Mhm.
that's another thing that I love so much about this game, though, is like just the way it uses the gameplay in tandem with the story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, not a lot of RPGs really do it the way that Final Fantasy IV does it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a specific reason Tella's MP never goes above 90, and it's because he's too old, and
Right.
it keeps him from being able to cast this ultimate spell that he wants to cast. And like, there's
Right.
a specific, like, when at the beginning of the game, for a while, Rydia can't cast fire because she is
Yeah.
deathly terrified of the fire magic that destroyed her village. And it wasn't
Yeah, and then-
until Rosa offered her
Right.
some encouragement. It's like, hey, Rydia, we know you can do this. You have
Yeah.
it in you to do this. She's like, I can't do it. I'm scared. But then from that point on, she can cast fire magic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
I was
I
briefly
just
reminded.
love the way this game does that.
Oh, and
I've been watching Avatar recently, and Aang kind of has the same thing for a while.
yeah, and then Edge getting more of his ninja or ninjutsu
Yeah.
ability with the encounter against the first encounter with Rubicant, is it?
Mhm.
Right. I think it's Rubicant, the fire elemental lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's neat. I kind of wish there was some sort of explanation for why he was like way more intelligent than all the other. I don't know if intelligence would work.
Yeah.
But,
Square, why'd you make Rubicant so cool?
He is cool.
Just like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that was going somewhere, and it really didn't at the end of the game. It was just like,
yeah. But so you wanted to talk about some iconic, like, bosses and stuff in games. Like, the Four Fiends are incredibly iconic. Like, they're like oh god, is Scarmiglione, that's his name. The Earth one. The
Yeah.
undead guy. And then oh god, what's the water guy's name? They have weird names.
They do.
Cagnazzo, something like that. And then Barbaricia and Rubicant. But yeah, they're all super cool recurring boss fights in the game. And they're also in Final Fantasy 14.
What?
Yeah. And guess what? Rubicant is just as cool. Rubicant is just as cool in 14 as he is in Final Fantasy 4.
Oh. Also, wow, 10 games later and they're recycling bosses.
What?
How many years has it been for that to be nostalgic, though?
Yeah. It's a bit like throwing Alice Landau into Phantasy Star Online 2. Episode 5. That's a reference no one but me gets. Oh, that is Scarmiglione is also a slight difference in Final Fantasy 2 versus Final Fantasy 4. Is Mylon in 2.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called
that
Mylon.
reminds me that reminds me of the Merilith translation in Final Fantasy 1 was just like completely different.
Yeah.
Well, It's sort of got some similar syllables going on there, but I think it's just the intended name was so long that they had to change it.
Yeah,
Probably.
big name.
Yeah. And Barbarecia is Valvalis.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Cagnazzo is still the same.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah. Good old English localizations.
Especially in the 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
There were no rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the fights with the four fiends are fun fights. And then later on, you fight them all.
Yeah.
And that's a fun fight.
It is.
Yeah. At first I was like, wait, are they going to have me fight all four at the same time, or the first three and then Rubicant? No. And I was like, oh, okay, this won't be too bad. I can heal in between fights. And I was like, no, that's not how it works either.
Nope.
One after another. And it does go straight from the third into the Rubicant, right? There isn't a pause between that last Elemental Lord, I believe. But yeah, I believe when I was playing through that, it was actually kind of nice because like I could just kept all the like whatever haste or berserker, whatever I had going.
Another thing I love about this game is that you can just cast slow on everything.
Yeah.
It's so good. Slow is like one of the most powerful spells in the game because of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It helps a lot with the active time battle stuff too.
Yes.
Because they do be hitting you, and they ain't waiting for you.
Yeah. There are some fun spell name changes. In,
Is there a nuke?
Yeah.
Get rid of nuke?
Nuke.
Nope.
Nice.
We get nuke in Final Fantasy 2, instead of flare.
Mm-hmm.
And fatal instead of death.
Mm-hmm.
Death.
Meteor is just Meteo. They just drop the R.
Okay.
Bio is virus, which sounds so much cooler.
Yeah, that does sound cooler. Can agree.
Osmos is psych, which I kind of like Osmos better. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Firaga, Blizzard, Zara, Blizzaga, etc., is just, ice 1, 2, 3, fire 1, 2, 3, lit 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
And then for the obligatory, we can't have religion in our games of the time, Nintendo, they changed holy to white.
Right. That seems okay.
Yeah.
I
don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
The ultimate white magic spell. White.
White.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of different names for things. So I feel like now we can probably address the Dragoon in the room.
I can't believe Kain betrayed me.
Allegedly.
Is it?
It's been proven
allegedly
by this
anymore?
episode.
Is it allegedly anymore?
Yeah.
Now we all know.
Yep.
Kain's betrayals. Like 3 times. But it wasn't his fault.
Let's count the times.
It was mind control.
It was mind control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would that be a pledge of insanity kind of thing? Do we have I don't think that applies in real life of I was mind controlled, Judge. That's why I stabbed him in the back in specific.
The voices told me to do
it. No, that's insanity.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was he was just under control of Golbez. Golbez was mind controlling him, like type mind control stuff.
So I think I mentioned this either last episode or I think this was last episode. I changed the name of one character
Mm.
and it was Kain, and I changed it to alleged
Alleged.
because the proof wasn't there yet.
Yep.
Which really threw me off the first time he came back after I did that.
All
'cause I
those
had
alleged,
forgotten.
all those
You sh-
alleged betrayals.
You should have changed his name to Craig.
Craig. Oh, I would have thought of that. Ah.
Yeah, should have changed it to Craig.
All right. Well, next time I play through this game.
Yeah.
After all those betrayals.
Yeah. Kain was one of the party members of all time.
His
In
jump
addition
made
to
him
his-
so cool.
Yeah, jump was an excellent ability.
Hi, I'm Super Mario, but constantly betraying you.
Yeah. Could get yourself into a lot of trouble with jump because it dealt a good bit more damage. And if I think, and you experienced this too, Colin, I think, but like if you had the blood spear equipped and you happen to be fighting some undead, then
Yeah.
Kain
Yeah.
just jumps to his own death.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that issue with
Yeah.
I think I had the blood sword on Cecil also.
Yeah.
Yeah. That area of the game was kind of rough.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just equip different equipment, but like I have the strongest equipment equipped right now that I have access to. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a experience.
Yeah. I think I passed on the blood sword for Cecil, but yeah, the blood spear on Kain was fantastic.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it had really solid boost in attack power for its trade-off of undead enemies will drain your life if you attack them with it. But yeah, it also meant that you didn't have to worry quite as much about healing Kain because kind of like Edward with his hide ability, you can't target Kain with spells when he is off screen during jump.
Yeah.
So him being able to recover HP on hit was really good.
Yeah.
I hate to say this. I found Cecil to be kind of underwhelming as a party member. He is the protagonist.
Really?
Yeah.
But he hits very hard.
He hits
Yeah,
very hard.
His
yeah,
as-
that's not it.
as a white magic user, yeah, but like paladins historically like have been more a focused offense, and then the magic is kind of a secondary thing.
Yeah. He's basically a
is-
warrior that can fend for himself better.
Yeah, he and his cover ability also does come in clutch.
I was about to
at
bring that up.
times.
Yeah.
Like,
Cover was
like,
massively useful for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been like also to do with like being over leveled. That like Cecil, since he's always there, he's the most highly leveled. Usually, so he had like 4,000 HP pretty early into the game for me. So like he was just a sponge, and throwing in front of like Rydia or Rosa or whoever was had the least total HP. It was super useful.
Yeah. I did kind of find late game a lot of the times I would just cast Berserk on him to save me the button presses.
Yeah, I think I used that in one boss fight, and that was it. But yeah, no, I also found him useful as a white mage, just in like, if I needed to heal the party, and like once a fight was over, and I was trying to recover the party's HP, it was very wise to use Cecil because that didn't affect Rosa or whatever white mage was there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they could use that for in battle with the more heavy ones, and just use Kura on everybody else from Cecil, and you're not really missing anything.
he is. I kind of understand where you're coming from in the way that he is kind of like the most vanilla party member.
Yeah.
Like, because Kain has jump, like Yang has his kick and stuff, and I mean, Rosa has stronger white magic, and she's a great archer.
Yeah.
Like all of the other party members have like another specific strength in combat, where Cecil is just kind of like, I hit stuff and I cover my allies.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see it from that perspective.
The thriller in vanilla.
At the same time, though, I will say that it's super cool because he is the character that literally completely changes his. Other than hitting hard, that's the only thing. But like, he doesn't have the darkest anymore.
Yep.
He gets this new cover ability. So like, yeah, he does less stuff at one time, but he does, two completely different things at different points in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one thing I think we should touch on is how many people die.
Good Lord, this game.
Everybody dies.
This game loves to kill people.
Like part of the game's intense focus on story is everybody dies.
Yeah.
Sort of. Like, I mean, we know about Tella, obviously, because he sacrifices himself trying to defeat Golbez with Meteor. But then also there is Edward's fiance, which is Tella's daughter, which basically sets Tella into the rageful pursuit of Golbez that he finds himself in.
Yep.
There's the twins, Palom and Porum, sacrifice themselves by turning themselves to stone to stop the room that they were in from the walls collapsing in and crushing the party.
Yeah, that
as now the father of two. That hurts so hard.
Yeah, that was like, whoa, this is a pixel art RPG from the 90s, and I'm getting the feels. Holy cow.
Yep.
But wait, there's more. She's never actually like confirmed dead, or air quotes dead, but Rydia being cast a sea by Leviathan.
Yes.
And just lost.
Yeah.
Honestly, your whole party getting lost at that point was just a huge shock.
Yeah, there is like Yang has like one line where he's like, and as for Rydia, I don't know, or something like that. Or I haven't heard from her. When you reunite with Yang after that party breakup.
Speaking of Yang, he sacrifices himself at the Tower of Babel.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what he did. Did you just put the cannons?
Yeah,
I know he stops the cannons, but I don't know what action he did.
Well, he stopped the goblins in the room and then didn't have enough time to get out of it before the entire thing self-destructed, basically.
Yep. Okay, gotcha.
And then Sid jumping out of the airship to bomb a pursuing airship or something like that. Like, everybody dies, sort of.
Yep.
Cecil and Kain. But Kain does a different thing.
Yeah.
Because
I can't believe Kain betrayed us.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Rosa isn't technically dead in the beginning, but
she almost dies.
She's knocked out. Yeah.
She almost dies a couple of times.
Does she?
Well, yeah, when you find her, she's like dying from desert fever.
Right, that's what I was talking about. What's the other time she dies?
When you rescue her from the Tower of Babel, like when you pull her out of her restraints, there's a
guillotine.
Spike or guillotine hanging above her.
Right, you rescue her from very near death. Gotcha.
But yeah, as it would have it, though, this is still an early
story.
Well, yeah. So as it would have it, though, most of the characters, at least all of the party member characters, don't actually die. They all are brought back later on in the story, which some would say kind of diminishes the impact a little bit. But still, I think the initial shock factor of everybody just presumed dead at so many points in the game.
Edward isn't dead, but he's just out of commission for a really long time.
Yeah.
But there's somebody before
Yang that
was a bard, right? Yeah. No, okay. So yeah. So Rydia is missing, and then Yang dies, and you're like, whoa. There's party members left and right. And Tella? Does Tella die in there too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Tella actually dies.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and then Rydia is missing, and then you see Yang die, and you're like, holy cow, this is a lot. And like it's not that long until Sid dies, and it's just like, good lord,
Yeah.
everybody's dying.
Everybody dies.
Sid hit hard because it was like you're like, okay, well, some characters have to go away, so they're using death as one of these things to the like because your team can only be at 5 members, so they're swapping out characters. Is mostly what they're doing. But then Sid dies, and it's like that wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Final Fantasy IV kills people like it's Victory Gundam.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, yeah, you mentioned it. That is kind of like a lot of times it's used as a plot device in order to shift the party composition a little bit for the next portion of the story and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty intelligent, if somewhat gruesome way of doing that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's kind of neat about this story is like the party revolves around the story. So
Mm-hmm.
like you never really have to worry about party composition because it's always going to be set up in a way that you have what you need for the portion of the game going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they can control it a lot better, and like they can design the game around, like you said, around the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But notably, in the Game Boy Advance version of the game, you can actually, after a certain point in the game, once all of the dead members are not dead anymore, you can actually swap party members in and out at that point. So you can go into the final battle with whatever party makeup you want. Some people would say that makes that a better version of the game, but honestly, I kind of like the way it's balanced with the original intent.
Yeah.
Where the final party against the final boss is Cecil, Kain, Rosa, Rydia, and Edge, because the entire battle feels like it's balanced around that.
Yeah. But man, it sounds so much fun going in with Fusoya, Palom, and Porum, Rydia, and Rosa, and just magicking Zeramis to death.
Yeah. I don't know if you get the option to select Fusoya, but yeah, you can definitely have Palom, Porum, and Rydia.
Before we move to
Triple meteor summons and the best curing magic you can get.
God.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yep.
Before we move past the deaths bit too far, I did want to bring up in our chat of this game that we've been playing for a while. When you find Sid that he's alive in the Dwarven Kingdom, I literally went into our channel and just typed all caps, "Sid's alive!" I was so happy when I found him.
Yep.
And I honestly was just kind of exploring the Dwarven castle after that with before initiating the story bit with the king. So I literally stumbled across him accidentally.
I completely forgot to go search for Yang on this playthrough.
Oh no!
Yeah. I didn't realize it until after the fact. Because the Sylph village where he ends up, I completely forgot to go there until like I was doing cleanup before the final dungeon.
Yeah, it is a completely optional dungeon, and it is kind of out of the way.
Yeah,
I was for that and the summons dungeon. I was so glad I could just turn off encounters in the Pixel Remaster because
I shut off encounters on the moon.
Yeah.
At that point in the game, I was like, I'm just gonna go, especially going to Bahamut's lair, where there were already a few forced encounters with behemoths and stuff. I was like, I remember suffering through all the random encounters on the 3D version in that area. I was like, I don't want to do that right now.
The moon was.
I just want to go fight the dragon guy, and
the moon was so rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue at all.
Yeah, like even with Fusoya in your party, who is like more or less a strict upgrade over Tella. Like, he has all of the black and white magic in the game at his disposal, but he has the MP to do stuff with it.
Yep.
Yeah, even with Fusoya in your party at that time, like, the moon was rough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I on my original playthrough of Final Fantasy IV on the GBA, I made it to the moon, but I don't think I got through the final. I didn't get through the final dungeon. The final dungeon is long.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And once you get to like the final area of it, pretty much all of your enemy encounters are effectively boss enemies.
Yeah. Well, they're all at
Mhm.
that point in the dungeon, they're all like forced encounters. Like
Mhm.
there are no random encounters in the area. They're all just forced encounters on specific tiles, and they're all
Oh,
yeah.
basically mini bosses.
Yep. Yeah, and like turning counters off did help a ton. I still went through and fought I went around and fought all the chess monsters. So I
Yep.
was still leveling up plenty. If you're in the Pixel remaster, I highly recommend playing around with no encounters because that'll help things out quite a bit. And also, Lucas can attest to this. I am really glad that was a thing because the what is it? Sylvan Cave. I got
yeah.
so lost. If I was cut into like encounters every other step, there was no way I would get through that. That was
Yeah. I was
It's a
playing
bit of a
Navigator
maze.
for that.
yes, yep, yeah. Our friend and Lucas's wife were also helping too, because even Lucas was like not sure where all the secret passages were.
Yep. Oh yeah, and then there was the one chest in the secret room or chest room
Yes.
in the Golden
Yeah,
Cave
there's
where it had a monster
6
encounter in
monsters.
it. It was 4 Malboros.
Yeah,
Gross.
yeah, and I was like, it was the fifth chest. I had one left unopened,
Yep.
and it was like immediately like, okay, we're not doing this.
Yep.
Everybody died. Fortunately, there was an
Oof.
autosave, so I didn't have to go through the cave again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
Shoutouts
started me
to
at the beginning.
save.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another great advantage of the Pixel remaster too, is the autosave.
It was
Yeah.
it
It's
was
so
quick
nice.
save. It was an autosave, and it put me right back
Yeah.
in the same room. However, I
Mhm.
still had those 4 chests were back filled with monsters again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
fortunately,
the autosave triggers at every screen transition.
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah,
So whenever
that's
you
super
enter
useful.
and exit a room, that it triggers an autosave.
I was still saving religiously though.
Fair. Yeah. Malboros suck.
Yeah. Yeah. I have faced many a Marlboro in my time across 16 mainline Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
They suck in every single one.
Yep.
Just wait until you get to Final Fantasy X and the Malboros in that game. Oh my god. They have 20,000 base HP.
Good lord.
It's disgusting.
Can Oron send him into orbit though?
Yes.
That would be super satisfying to see.
Yes, it is. Just like the sandworms in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeet! I love that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Compared to Final Fantasy 1 and going into Final Fantasy air quotes 2, I really enjoyed how story driven it was compared to the first one. Because like even for the little bit of the Game Boy Advance remake that I played of Final Fantasy 1, not really a whole lot of story wise going on there, or versus like you're being dropped into a very lived in world and you are playing through the events through the eyes of the person executing them, which is a super cool super cool thing for me because that made it very easy to sink my teeth into Final Fantasy IV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's always a forward momentum to it as well.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
there isn't a single point in this game where you're kind of like, what do I do? Where do I go?
Mm-hmm.
Type
Yeah.
stuff. Like, the story is always driving you forward. It's always nudging you in the direction you need to go in.
Yeah. It's a very tightly knit story.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe about a third of the way through, it was like, okay, this is clicking just a little bit when I got past where I had left off on the phone. Coming back after that, I think around Mountain Ordeals is when it started like really hooking me. And then by
Cecil
latter
becomes
half
a paladin and bids farewell to his bloodstained past.
Yeah, that's definitely the real hook to the game, is once you get there and you're like, okay, this is cool. And like halfway through, by then you just want to see the game, the plot for sure. This past week, I've just been playing tons of it, and it's like, this is really fun and really, really engaging story-wise. I want to know what happens to these characters.
Yep.
Apparently, Kain's going to betray me again after this, so that'll be interesting. Look forward to that.
Yeah. It's always something to look forward to.
Maybe not Kain betraying you, but definitely interesting stuff happening all over the place.
You mean you didn't look forward to Kain's next betrayal?
Not really.
But he could betray.
I mean, he's like a platformer because he can jump.
Jump around, jump up, then get down.
Jump man.
Crisscross.
I will say, it does remind me of how the jump attack in Super Mario RPG looks. It's like the animation's very similar. But yeah, before Kain gets mind controlled for the last time, I was like, okay, Kain is definitely going to betray me again in some way or another. So I'm going to change the facing character on the minimap to be Kain, just so I can look at him, since I won't have him too much longer, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Kain does look really cool. Yeah. I don't know about the SNES sprite, but his Pixel Remaster sprite looks thick.
And he's got a really cool voice in the DS version.
Does he? Okay.
I was not expecting him to sound the way he does, but I love his voice actor in the DS version.
Yeah.
He sounds just as cool as he looks.
Meanwhile, I've read him in the headcanon voice of Richard Ian Cox, the voice actor probably most well known for voicing Inuyasha from Inuyasha and several Mobile Suit Gundam characters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's not what he sounds like.
Yeah. At least so I've heard.
I will say, from looking at, we're talking about sprites, from looking at the like SNES version to the Pixel Remaster, everything's darker on the SNES.
Yeah.
Except for like some of the grass. Some of the grass is pretty green, but like the blues seems darker. The browns seem browner. More less saturated.
It's almost as if they were working with like 16-bit graphics versus modern day HD graphics.
Well, here's the point I wanted to make. You always said, like, comparing Final Fantasy graphics on the NES to Phantasy Star on the Master System, that system was much brighter, but I don't know if that applies to the SNES or if that was a stylistic choice, or I don't know.
The other games aren't really that dark. I don't think 5 and 6 are.
The SNES has a more vibrant color palette than the Sega Genesis did.
Really? Okay. Yeah. It's probably just the choice of colors they used.
Probably.
Secret passages are cool too here. I don't think that was a thing in Final Fantasy 1.
Not really. Actually, yeah, I can't think of any spots off the top of my head in Final Fantasy 1 with secret passages.
No, I don't think it did.
I think
it's pretty big in 4, 5, and 6, though.
Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know if 6 employed that too much. I know, I think Final Fantasy 2 did. A little bit. Maybe.
Which Final Fantasy 2?
Yes. So we've mentioned the characters a bit in passing, but did y'all's have any favorite character or characters?
Uh, hmm, Probably Rydia.
Yeah. Yeah, Rydia's my favorite too.
Yeah. Like, she's got the cool story arc, kind of like Cecil, but she actually gets more than one-dimensional combat.
I like Yang a lot.
Yang was cool.
It was pretty no nonsense. Honestly, I think Cecil was my favorite character.
Cecil is awesome.
Did I say Cecil? Sorry.
He did.
Trying really hard. Like for until you pointed it out last episode, I had been reading it as Cecil every single time. So I think I'm doing pretty good.
Me too. And then Colin pointed that out, and then I had the moment of like flashing all the way back to like the early 90s, watching Reboot and Cecil, the waiter at Dot's Diner in Reboot, constantly having to correct everyone with "It's Cecil," whenever they called him Cecil.
I liked Edge. Edge was kind of cool.
Yeah, very edgy. Kind of a goofball.
And I kind of liked Edward too.
The thing I like about Edge is how he just immediately starts hitting on Rydia.
Yep.
And she has none of it.
Yep. Like, excuse me, sir. She's technically 7.
Like, well, no. I mean, she
exactly how that worked.
aged.
Yeah.
I mean, she aged properly. I mean,
Yep.
it's just time passes faster in the land of the summons type
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
She got banished to the hyperbolic time chamber.
Pretty much.
The dope hypnotic rhyme chamber. The many other things.
He's probably the most interesting character.
Yeah.
Just because of all the twists and turns of how he betrays you, and you're like, is this guy actually against us? What is his alliance here? Sometimes it seems like he's like willingly betraying you. Sometimes it's not. Takes until the very end for you to figure it out.
Yeah.
I also really liked to. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there was almost like what felt like a natural betrayal at the very beginning of the game when they used the thumb ring and missed.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to like rescuing Rydia and escaping, and he is like really grilling you about, are you sure you want to betray the king? Because I'll do something about it.
Yeah, and even when he comes back after that and like betrays you, probably the next time you talk to him, it's like, yeah, this just seems normal. He's just not agreeing with us anymore.
Yep.
Like, yeah, obviously he's joining the bad guys, but you don't get mind control until later, or it doesn't seem like mind control until later.
Yeah.
I also really enjoy the twins and their antics. They are funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Twin Cast is stupid. Like, God, it's so good when it works.
Yep.
But yeah, you can really like nuke some entire mobs of enemies with just a simple Twin Cast. Like,
Yes.
You nail that comet spell and it's just like, goodbye. Yeah. Every single character in this game is good though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fusoya was probably the most underrepresented, but that's fine. He showed up.
Yeah. Yep.
Very late.
The third act.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm your old uncle, by the way. I've been up here for a while.
Yep.
Fusoya.
Nice to meet you.
Yep. I've been working on new versions of Lunar Magic and Lunar IPS and all the other ROM hacking tools I've written.
By the way, going to the moon.
Of what he was doing.
I mean, we briefly mentioned it in passing, but you go to the moon, on a giant whale. You ride a giant whale to the moon.
Yep.
How awesome is that? And then, but like that's not the only thing. Also, you also go underground.
To the
Like-
underworld.
Like, this game is so crazy. Like you've got your normal overworld map, but then they're like, what if we went underground? What if we went to the moon? It's like Tears of the Kingdom, but
Yeah.
what would that be? Well, I can't math right now, but like 30 years earlier,
Yep.
plus one extra place because they went to the moon too. Well, no, Tears of the Kingdom had stuff up in the sky.
Yeah.
So I guess that could technically count as like a third level. But yeah, take that, Zelda. Final Fantasy did that 30 years earlier on a Super Nintendo. You're not so fancy and innovative now, are you?
Yeah, it's true. We only got Light World and Dark World and Link to the Past.
That's true. Yeah. See?
I have to briefly read from the Caves of Narsh guide, which is what I used. Two short passages here. Once you get to the moon, because this is silly and I love it. Wow, you're on the moon. Amazing. Just think, you'll be famous just like Neil Armstrong and those other guys no one ever heard of. Because this is a fantasy world and NASA doesn't exist. Quit forcing your reality on this one. It's rude. Now, you may be asking yourself, how exactly is Cecil and his band of merry men and women not suffocating from the lack of oxygen? Or maybe you're wondering yourself, a moon that size wouldn't have a great amount of gravity. Cecil and his cronies could just float right into space. And I say that you're putting too much thought into this. Let's just say the answer is magic. It's magic and they're all breathing and not floating into the dark, cold abyss.
Yeah, basically.
Magic. Don't worry about it.
I mean, if I recall correctly, the moon is actually just a giant vessel from that the Lunarians took to that specific place.
Yeah.
That
This is
sounds
Moon.
right.
So
This is Moon 2.
yeah, this is
It's the
Moon
sequel.
Base 2. Moon Base 1, Moon Base 2, but yeah, so it would stand to reason that there would be some sort of magical field surrounding at least this moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's already stuff set up here with the sleeping people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look,
It was
more sleeping people.
Yeah. It was it's just saying last night, it's very reminiscent to how the ending of Turn A Gundam is, where they
Mhm.
finally go to the moon base to see the moon race. And then
Yeah.
the guy that wants to destroy all civilization is there waiting for them.
Surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. And not a whole lot to do on the moon because it is kind of a small map, but
Yeah. I kept forgetting that all the maps, other than the underworld, the moon and the planet loop. You can just go around the whole world because
yeah.
it's not that big.
Yep.
The moon, it's pretty obvious because you accidentally go around it. But
Yeah.
the blue planet, I'll be like, oh, I'm in the southwest corner. I need to go to the northeast. This gonna have to go across the sea, and then I get there. I'm like, wait, I could have just turned around and gone in the opposite direction. I would have been there. Which Final Fantasy 1 had the same thing, but I don't know. I want to say the map on Final Fantasy 1 was a little bit smaller, and maybe there was less going on.
Did you find the Hummingway cave on the moon?
Yes, I did. I purposely explored every single cave.
Okay.
You found the Loporits?
What?
The Loporits.
Is that the name of those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shop in there, and it's got some good stuff.
Nice.
I sold a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, why did I do this? I have plenty of money already. Gil boost. Holy cow. Gil boost and XP boost both. I had absurd amount of money.
Cash money
It
gets
was
paid.
not an issue. I will say, when I first started the game, I was under the impression that if you set the boost up like any amount, like incrementally, the difficulty of the enemies would also go up based on that.
Nope.
So yeah, there's a lot of early game before I figured that out where I was like messing with it to be like, well, these battles have seemed more difficult. I should lower the boosts so that they're not as difficult. And I don't know what I was experiencing, why it was like that, because not how it works at all.
Nope.
Yeah, honestly, in terms of difficulty, like the SNES version compared to Pixel Remaster with all of the boosts cranked, it's about the same difficulty.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, because you really don't have to grind, like you guys were telling me.
Yeah,
Weeks
even
ago.
in the SNES version, like just I think there was maybe one occasion where I had to like get one level on Rydia to get Thundaga for fighting Odin, because fighting Odin without that was terrible. There was an attempt. It did not go well.
Yeah, there were a lot of bosses
not.
that I was so over leveled by the end. The wall boss, the guide was like, "This is one of the hardest bosses in all RPGs," and I just cast Holy a couple times because I had it like pretty much immediately. I gained a couple levels after she came back, and yeah,
I got through the wall by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
I don't remember struggling too much in this run, but also, like Neil,
boost
power.
What was
boost power?
Got blindsided by one boss at the end of the game in the Lunar Caves. There's bosses guarding all of the swords, and then there's one room with two Luna Dragons, I think is what they're called.
There was one gold and one silver.
Maybe it was the bony guys, Lunasaurs.
Oh, gotcha.
They're guarding two ribbons, and it completely blindsided me. They're constantly spewing fire, and a bunch of characters kept getting knocked out. And very quickly, I was down to just like Edge and Cecil. And I just had to slash. There was no recovering my healing people because I didn't have enough time, and I only barely made it out of that. Edge ended up being alone. I used an X potion because I had one, and that gave me a little bit more time to just keep slicing him with his katanas. And yeah, when the battle was complete, everybody else was dead, and Edge was down to 95 HP.
Oof.
I was...
Everybody died.
Everybody died except Edge. But
yeah, I for some reason struggled a little bit with the first fight with Rubicant this time.
Okay.
I don't know why he just would not die.
I don't know why he just would not die.
He wouldn't die. It's like, dude, none of the other fiends have given me any trouble at all this playthrough, and now you are standing here in my way, acting all cool because you're so cool.
Oh, I definitely want to ask Lucas about this. The door dungeon. Sorry, I'm changing the topic just a bit, but the door dungeon. How did that go on the SNES without boost and encounters off?
That was rough.
That was rough for me with encounters turned off.
Yeah.
And doors.
The evil doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know the first.
I had dungeon maps pulled up for that one specifically to track down the nearest save circle for healing up.
Okay. So you could, cottage every time. Gotcha.
Pretty much, yeah. Doors were, yeah. At least they weren't windows.
Yeah. I found myself.
I like Pixel Remastered runs on Linux, so if you got a Steam Deck, grab it.
Yeah, I ended up like for the middle section of the game, having a strategy of like turning off encounters and exploring the dungeon and finding whatever treasure and hidden passages there were, and then walking back to like the start of the dungeon, and then turning on encounters. Didn't have to worry about finding chests and stuff, but I'd get the same amount of levels, and it was less stressful, but taking more time, which is probably why I was like 25, 26 hours total of gameplay.
That sounds kind of about in line with my Super Nintendo playthrough.
I beat it in 12 hours. I beat the 3D version in 18 hours.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
length for an RPG, I'd say.
Yeah. Especially a Super Nintendo RPG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Pixel Remaster obviously being 12 hours is because I boosted the piss out of it and
Uh-huh.
just blasted through the game. But 18 hours, I'd say, is about the average time, I would say, for this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right.
I assume nobody went for the bonus King's Quest.
Bonus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever attempt to get the pink tail from the pink puff?
I did not.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. So, I don't know if you remember back from Earthbound, but you could find for Pooh all of these of King's equipment, and the Sword of Kings was a like 1 in 128 drop chance from the Super Starmen in the Starmen base. It's kind of like one of those, but for Final Fantasy IV.
Is it like a fetch quest where you're trading a bunch of things, or because I just skipped over that section. It was on the last chapter that they have to stick it there.
Yeah. Oh,
there's a
the pink
pup.
Yep.
Rare enemy.
Yeah. In basement 5 of the Moon's Core. In one of the rooms there is a sort of rare enemy encounter with a pink puff, which has a 2% chance to drop a pink tail that if you bring back to the guy in the cave where you get the adamantine to forge Excalibur, if you trade it to him, he will give you the adamant armor, which is like base 100 defense armor that has, or it takes half damage from elemental attacks and has added immunity to all the statuses, as well as gives plus 15 strength, agility, vitality, wisdom, and will. And even though it's adamant, it's not metallic.
That's right.
But yeah, it's basically the best armor equipment that you can get in the game. But it has the same absurd requirements, basically, to get the Sword of Kings from Earthbound. And yeah, you can't even just, like, steal it either, because the steal item is Ether 2. And then it has a 33% chance to drop an elixir, a 16% chance to drop a ninja star, which is nice. But yeah, the 2% drop rate for the pink tail when you're in the 5th basement of the final dungeon, that you then have to leave the dungeon and then come back to that spot in the dungeon for the armor. Yeah. Oh, and if I'm reading Caves of Narsh's like drop or stat block for this thing correctly, it just has a 5% chance to drop a item. That sounds awful. I'm probably not calculating this correct, but like, what's 2% of 5%? 0.05 times 0.02. So 0.001% of drop rate. Gross. Oh, and it's a slime enemy, like all of those.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah.
They suck.
So yeah, they do suck. So
Not worth,
yeah.
basically.
Yep. Yeah, it's unfortunately not quite as useful as like getting the Sword of Kings, because that's still a decent chunk of Earthbound away from yeah. Like, this is almost as far into the last dungeon as you can get before just going to fight Zeramus.
Yeah. Speaking of Zeromus, did you know you can cast slow on the final boss?
That's
'Cause
ridiculous.
you
I
can.
did.
Like I said, slow is the most powerful spell in the game. It's so good. It really comes in clutch in the 3D version too. Like,
I bet.
it becomes a necessity. It is so good. But also, like, the final boss theme is incredible in this game.
Mhm.
It honestly does not get talked about nearly enough. I think it's one of my favorite final boss themes in the entire series.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite is obviously Dancing Mad, because it's Dancing Mad.
Yeah.
And then it's a toss-up, I think, between Zeromus and the Extreme from Final Fantasy VIII.
Mm.
I think I might be more inclined to give the number 2 slot to the Extreme, just because it's a more intricate track. But then that would make the number 3 slot Zeromus, because this song is just Uematsu's being like, yeah, check out all these prog influences I got here.
Yeah.
Like, it is just this awesome prog rock track, and I love it.
Mhm.
The melody is great. It's got this awesome, like, foreboding yet heroic type feel to it. It's so
Yeah.
good.
I think I like the listening to it here. I think I like the 16-bit version better than the rearrangement, honestly.
Interesting.
Works a little bit better for me.
But I can respect it. Still the same song either way, just different
Right, yeah.
instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the Black Mage's version of the song.
Ooh,
It
yeah.
is very good. But yeah, I mean, and then One Winged Angel would be my 4th favorite final boss theme in the series. I mean, it kind of has to be in the top 5, I guess. It is kind of like between that and Dancing Mad. It's like those are the 2 final boss themes that people talk about when they talk about final boss themes and Final Fantasy. It's understandable. They're very iconic songs, but I think One Winged Angel is great, but I just like the progginess of Zeromus more.
Yeah.
And the Extreme, I think, is just a really, really cool song. Also pretty proggy, honestly.
Mhm.
But like there's so many good final boss themes in this series. So
Yeah.
like the one for Final Fantasy V ain't bad either.
Yeah.
And then Final Fantasy IX's final boss theme is also really good. Final Fantasy X's final boss theme is, well, there's like 3 of them. It depends on like, because there's the final fight with Seymour, and then there's another final boss, and then there's another final boss. Technically, there's only one final boss, but they all have a different theme song.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyway, final thoughts on Final Fantasy 4/2/5.
I think I need to start checking out the other Pixel remasters, because
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see jumping to 5 or 6 from here.
yeah.
I really like 5. If I'm putting like this era of the franchise in order from my most to least favorite, they literally go in release order. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of an unpopular opinion because, everybody loves 6, but
Mhm.
and I like 6, but I just like 4 and 5 more. I like 4 more for its more focused story, and I
Mhm.
like 5 more from a gameplay perspective.
Gotcha.
5 is really fun because it's got the job system in it.
Yeah, but it's also still fairly story driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like as a joke, I opened up I had some point in time had gotten a hold of a prototype ROM of the English localization of Final Fantasy II on the NES, and it very much started out just like it did on Final Fantasy One, where you name your character or pick your classes, name your characters, and then get dropped into a castle, as opposed to like being given a story like the SNES games seem to.
Which is weird because Final Fantasy II is actually pretty story driven.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So I'm very curious what this ROM actually was.
Yeah, me too now.
Are you sure it wasn't a prototype English translation of 3 and it was just a typo, mislabeled?
I honestly don't know.
Because that's how 3 starts.
Huh.
Well, you don't get dropped into a castle, but you get dropped into a cave.
Hmm. Sounds like I got some research to do.
Sounds like it. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV is amazing. I love this game.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I've already said that. It's very good and people should play it.
Yeah.
Anyway, time to move along to our weekly link to the past. This week, on the date of recording, September 14th of 2025, we have another video game console birthday.
We did.
Same generation too.
Yeah.
So,
Wild.
so our last episode, we talked about the Dreamcast. This episode, we have the Nintendo GameCube, which is 24 years old today.
Yeah. It's not
Another
the spiritual
loser of
successor.
that.
It's not the spiritual successor to the Dreamcast that the Xbox was, but it is where all of the Dreamcast games ended up on.
Basically.
Wait, I was gonna say GameCube is another loser of that console generation, but isn't the Xbox a loser? Which is it? Just PS2 did leagues better than everybody else, and that was it for that generation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And PS2
Yeah.
was the best selling console of all time until the Switch,
That's true.
wasn't it?
The Wii?
I think it still is.
Or-
I don't think the Switch has caught up to it yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's close, but I don't think it has yet.
Googling it.
Yeah. Sony absolutely cleaned house that console generation.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you guys are
hey,
right.
what if the thing that played games also played DVDs, but was also cheaper than DVD players, but it plays games?
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch is catching up. It is currently around 7 million units behind.
And on top
Interesting.
of that, what if you didn't have to buy a accessory in order to be able to control the DVD play functionality of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Microsoft screwed that up with the Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, you just needed a controller, right?
Not on the Xbox. You had to buy the dedicated DVD remote.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Lame.
I see what you're saying. PlayStation 2, you don't have to buy one of those DVD remotes, but you can do it with the controller. Gotcha. Yeah, why did that? Xbox, what are you doing?
TV.
No,
Damn.
that wouldn't be until the Xbox One.
Yeah. You're right.
Not to be confused with the Xbox One.
Yep. Or the Xbox 360, which 360 is equal to 1 on the unit circle.
They really like the number 1,
They think highly of themselves.
apparently. Wait, so in a series of X's and O's, which one would be the 1 value?
Mm.
X?
So there we are again, the Series X. It's just one again.
Mm. Yep.
Anyway, we were talking about the GameCube.
It's got to be X because circle to confirm would be a Japanese thing.
Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about the GameCube.
The GameCube.
It gave us games like Wind Waker and
The GameCube had the best games of that generation. I'm a Ratchet and Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper fan now. Those were great games, but GameCube was just on a whole nother level with their games.
it didn't have Final Fantasy X, so
It had Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Oh God, it had the worst games of that generation. Is what you mean?
It had Metroid Prime.
It had Metroid Prime, Super Mario Sunshine, Animal Crossing. Let's see if I can keep going.
Double Dash,
Double Dash,
Wind Waker,
Wind Waker, Twin
Kirby Air Ride.
It had the
Twilight
best
Princess.
Nintendo games of that generation.
Oh yeah, it had Nintendo consoles library of just the games made in-house by Nintendo. GameCube is absolutely the best.
Yeah.
There's too many good Nintendo games on there.
Yeah. Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2 plus.
Mm-hmm. Sonic Adventure Battle or Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. You also got Heroes in Shadow. You got the Mega Collection.
The Gems
you got
collection.
Gems. The Gems Collection didn't make it to the other systems. The Mega Collection did, but Gems was unique to the GameCube. Let me think. Heard great things about what is it? Dark Shadows. There's a horror game on the GameCube.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's not Dark Shadows. What is it?
Dark Shadows is a TV show.
It's like
Darkness
Eternal
Requiem?
something. No, it was like Eternal Darkness. That's what it is. Eternal Darkness.
Yeah. Sanity's Requiem.
Oh, wasn't it the GameCube was where Resident Evil 4 launched on, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, correct. In some people's opinions, the best Smash game of all time is on there.
Yep. Melee fans sure do like Melee.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of don't know if I necessarily agree with that because at some point in time, my copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee broke. Like,
Oof.
I brought the game over to a friend's house. It stayed in my overnight bag the entire time in its like full-size disc case. And when I pulled it out of my bag when we got home, the disc was just shattered.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but also it didn't have Lucas. So yeah. Also, it really shows where all of my like supposed fighting game prowess amounts to just being like slightly higher than filthy casual because I can't wave dash worth anything in that game. I could never make it down or in competitive Melee. Yeah. Also, I like the wrong Fire Emblem character for competitive, so yeah. I always like Roy better than Marth.
Same. Roy is great.
And he fits my typical play style better than Marth does for the most part, because I tend to play rushdown wherever I can. So the fact that his sword's sweet spot is closer to the hilt than the tip, which is what made Marth great for competitive, because you could keep distance better. I just will like run up into your face and attack you point blank, right where the Roy's sword sweet spot is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GameCube had a lot of great games.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, including two of the best games in the Metroid series. Yeah.
And it was cool that it had the GBA connectivity and all that stuff
Yeah,
too.
I was going to bring that up.
The Game Boy Advance player and stuff, and games could link up with GBAs and play them and stuff.
Yeah. You could
It was
even
cool.
you could even do both at the same time, because if you plug your Game Boy Advance into the GBA link cable into controller 1 of your GameCube, while playing Game Boy Advance games on the Game Boy player, you can use the Game Boy Advance as the controller.
Yeah.
It's an over elaborate way to play Game Boy Advance games on your Game Boy Advance, but
It's cool. And you can play your Game Boy Advance games on the TV.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yes.
And honestly, I prefer playing that way to playing with the GameCube controller.
Well, the D-pad on the GameCube controller is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest downside of the GameCube controller. And yet it's still it's a really good controller.
Yeah. It's got the incorrect staggering or incorrect placement for analog stick and D-pad for playing games with the D-pad.
Right. And yet at the same time, like, I think part of, like, since the GameCube, so much of its support was Nintendo games, they were specifically designing around that controller.
Yes.
Whereas, like, something like the Sonic games were not necessarily like that.
Yeah, they were built for a
like,
Dreamcast controller, which had single analog and a D-pad in roughly the same spot, so it really isn't.
Yeah, those translated okay. I'm more talking about Heroes in PlayStation, or Heroes in Shadow, because those were for the PlayStation and Xbox too. But yeah, the games, it's not really an issue that the D-pad sucks, because they make it so that you don't need it in their games.
But yeah, if you're playing Metroid Fusion or Metroid Zero Mission on your Game Boy player, then it's not a good D-pad for that.
No. Yeah, that was a struggle for me with Mega Collection, was like, I kind of like to use my D-pad, but it's GameCube controller, so nope.
That was a big struggle for me the one time I rented Mega Man X Collection from Family Video.
I believe it. It did have the coolest thing, which I don't know why they don't bring it back. I guess the nunchuck had it, right? The analog stick had, like, this octagon shape thing going on.
Oh yeah, the octagonal gate for the easy aligning directions.
Yeah, so it despite the D-pad being bad, the stick was way better than any other stick, because it would snap into exactly the right spot.
Yeah,
because of that's where the notch was.
And would you believe it? That's still not enough notches in the controller for Melee players.
True. But yeah, no. It kind of speaks to more how bad the D-pad was, but it was optimal to use the stick for, like, 2D games because of that. That, like, it's got the notches at least, so it's not as bad as it otherwise would be. Like, I definitely feel the same thing with the Joy-Cons on the Switch. That, like, the D-pad is kind of hard to use, but, like, it doesn't have notches on the Joy-Con, so it's worse than a GameCube controller in that sense. Also, Double Dash is the best Mario Kart.
Yeah. I said so. I would know. I ranked all of the Mario Kart games in the order that our final tier list came out as.
Yes. Go watch that episode.
Yeah.
and our controller episodes too.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, happy birthday, Nintendo GameCube. Let's move on to the end of episode 81. Lucas, where can you be found outside the podcast?
Find me on Linktree at linktr.ee/Karn_evil_999. It's got links to follow me on Twitter. Don't. Blue Sky. Do. Add me on Steam if you want to be interrupted by game launch notifications, I suppose. Links to my YouTube channel where I upload long plays of the games that we talk about in our That One Game series of episodes. Final Fantasy IV going live around when this episode does. And then, of course, links to catch up on our back catalog of podcast episodes and links to join our podcast Discord server. That's at linktr.ee/karn_evil_999. Man, been a while since I butchered the outro that bad.
Colin can edit it to fix it, right?
Maybe.
Colin could edit it to make it worse, too.
I could, but will I?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Which
Neil,
9
where
am I
can you be
referring
found?
to?
Where can Neil be found?
Also, in the trees, linktr.ee/vmk9. I got links to my Twitch, where I do my weekly Minecraft Monday streams. And you got podcast-related links, of course. And my Twitter, and then my YouTube. So, yeah. Colin, where can they find you? Perhaps in the trees?
Yeah. linktr.ee/delicious morsels. That's where my links are at. Like my YouTube channel and my Blue Sky and stuff. Anyway, yeah, go there if you want my links, which you should because they're cool. Do you want to be cool? And go check out my links. linktr.ee/delicious morsels. Anyway, as always, if you liked what you heard here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button where that's an option. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because I hear they like that stuff. Hit the like button if that's a thing, and feel free to share this episode with a friend. We are going to be back in a couple weeks with another episode. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, did you forget?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up enemies. Hold on.
Did you forget? You forgot. After we just went over all of this last episode, now suddenly you forget? Wow. 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 How disappointing.
Play for the flame dog.
The what? That
I'm doing an alternative version. Come on, we do
that's
this
not a
sometimes.
cow.
I'm escaping to the one place that has been corrupted by Golbez's influence. Space!
Nice! That's not our outro either, though, admittedly.
Well, it is now. Bye, everybody.